Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, 12th verse. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmanah phalam bhavatyat tyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. Atyaginam, to people who don't renounce anything. Pretya, after death. Anishtam, disagreeable. Ishtam, agreeable. Mishram, mixed. Cha, and trividham, threefold. Karmanah, of action. Phalam, fruit. Bhavati, occurs. Tu, but sannyasinam, to the people who renounce. Kvachit, ever, na, not. So the threefold fruits of actions, that is disagreeable fruits, agreeable fruits, and the mixed fruits, they occur to people who have not renounced. After death they occur, but never to people who have renounced. Renounced in the sense, those who have renounced attachment and fruits, attachment to and fruits of action. If you renounce attachment to actions and if you renounce the fruits of actions, then you would not have to face the fruits of actions after death. Means that would not come. So whatever actions you do in this birth, those actions would not bear any fruit. And whatever actions have been done also will get dissolved. Like Dagda Bija, it is called. Dagda Bija means a seed which has been cooked or fried or roasted. That seed cannot produce a sapling, it cannot produce a sprout. So, if you don't have any attachment to the fruits of actions, if you don't have any attachment to actions, and you don't also wish to have any fruits of actions, then that means you have relinquished the fruits of actions and the actions, attachment to actions. If you relinquish, then what happens? Whatever you have done in the past and which is stored, accumulated karma, it goes away. But whatever karma is getting result called prarabdha karma in this birth, that karma will be exhausted, and then after death one need not come again, one need not take birth again, because that karma which leads to birth would not be there. So prarabdha karma gets exhausted, sanchita karma, that is the karma which is accumulated, stored, that goes away, and agami karma, agami means that which is yet to come in the next births, that also goes away. So that person essentially attains to moksha. But a person who has not relinquished attachment to action or has not relinquished the fruits of action, for that person one has to bear the fruits of actions like disagreeable, agreeable, and mixed. These things one has to bear. And now Sri Krishna will tell how action works. In the previous chapters, he has told that it is difficult to understand actions, but also he has given us some clues in that direction. Here, Sri Krishna will say that how actions are performed and what it is which gives rise to the fruits of actions, and he will give a brief description of the process of action itself. So he now says, Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodhame Sankhye Kritante Proktani Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam. Mahabaho, O mighty armed, referring to Arjuna. Sankhye. So here Sankhya does not mean the philosophical system. It means Jnana Yoga. It means the path of knowledge. Here it means wisdom. So Sankhya in the wisdom, Kritante, which is the end of all actions, Sarvakarmanam, of all works, Siddhaye, for the accomplishment, Proktani, as declared, Etani, these, Pancha, 5, Karanani, causes, may from me, Nibodha, learn. So Arjuna, learn from me these 5 causes which are required for the accomplishment of all works, all sarvakarmani, all kinds of actions, as declared in wisdom, which is the end of all action. So, Sankhya means, literal meaning would be that in which all things that are to be known are explained. That means highest wisdom. So according to that highest wisdom, these are the 5 factors or 5 causes which are necessary. Karanani, Pancha, Etani Pancha Karanani. These 5 reasons or 5 causes or 5 factors which are necessary to perform a particular action, any particular action, any action. And so know that these are integral, these are necessary to perform an action. What are they? Adhishthanam, Tatha Karta, Karanam cha Prithak Vidam, Vividhascha Prithak Cheshta, Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. So this verse is very important because it tells us, it lists the 5 factors that are necessary for the performance of an action. Adhishthanam, that is the body. Body is necessary. Body is where the action takes place, and also body is where the fruit of action comes. Tatha, also, Karta, the agent. Prithak Vidaha. So Prithak Vidham, various, Vidham, kinds, Prithak, various kinds. Karanam, the senses. Vividhaha, of a manifold kind. Prithak, different. Cheshtaha, functions. Atra, of these. Panchamam, the 5th. Daivam, the presiding deity. Cha eva, and also. So, these are the causes. First is Adhishthanam, the body. So, body is necessary for performing any action. Body is necessary. Without any body, one cannot perform an action. Body is the most important here for performing actions. Then, Karta, the agent is necessary, or a sense of agency is necessary. Who is doing? So, by that logic, a knower of Brahman, a person who has realized one's true nature, does not do any action, because one of the factor is karta, that is kartrutvam, the sense of agency should be there, an agent should be there. But in the case of a knower of Brahman, that sense of agency itself is not there. And so, that person cannot be treated as an agent. Then there should be Prithak Vidham Karanam. Different, various kinds of senses, various senses. We have five senses of knowing, Jnanendriya. And then without Jnanendriya, one cannot perform any action, because the cognitive faculty is important before you perform any action. Cognition. And so, cognition is very important. Then, Vividaha Prathak Cheshta. So, Cheshtaha, functions, which are different and they are of a manifold variety. And there are many kinds of functions. And Atra Panchakam, that is the fifth. And Atra of these, the Panchamam. Panchamam means the fifth is Daivam cha eva. Daivam. Daivam means the presiding deity, divinity, the presiding deity. Presiding deity, first you should have the body, then you should have the agent, then various senses, then various functions. Then comes functions of the senses and also of the agent, different roles, and then comes the presiding deity. Now, every indriya or every senses of knowing, we have five senses of knowledge and five organs of action. So, five organs of knowledge and five organs of action. All these organs, all these 10 organs have a presiding deity. That is why we find in the parable of Sri Ramakrishna, where he tells a story. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we find this story. He says that there was a person who had a garden in his home. And somebody praised the garden, so he was taking all the praise. He was like, yes, thank you, yeah, this is my garden. I have tended the garden, and so it's producing beautiful flowers, etc. So he was being praised and he was taking that praise. But then once a cow entered the garden, and this person tried to mind the cow, tried to drive away the cow and couldn't. So finally he ended up killing the cow. He thrashed the cow and the cow died. So killing a cow is a very grave sin. So go hatya, it's a grave sin. So this person was told that you have committed this sin, you will have to face the consequences. By a god, was told. So then he said, no, I have not committed the sin. You see, the hands, the presiding deity of the hands are Indra, the king of gods, Deva Indra. So he said that my hand did that, and the presiding deity of the hand is Indra, so consequently Indra did that. So when he had to take credit, he took it. But when he had to take the blame, he did not. So there we get an idea that the presiding deity of hands is Indra. So every organ and every organ of knowledge and every organ of action has a deity who presides over it. And because of the grace or because of the blessings of that deity, because of the help of that deity, these sense organs, they perform their functions. So that is why this is very important. For example, Aditya or sun, Surya, is the presiding deity of the eyes. And it is by the grace of Surya that we see. And so, every sense organ, every organ of knowledge has a presiding deity. And Daivam Chaiva Atra Panchamam. You might have the body, you might have the agent who is going to perform an action, you might have different kinds of sense organs, you might have different kinds of functions of these sense organs. But if there is no blessing of the presiding deity, if there is no grace of God, then you cannot perform that action. That is the idea here. Sharira vang manobhihi yat karma prarabhate narah nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavah. So again, Sri Krishna is reiterating, he is just repeating what he has told earlier. He says, Naraha, a human being, Sharira Vang Manobhihi, through the Sharira, body, through the Vang, speech, and through mind, Yat, whatever Nyayam, whatever right, Va, or Viparitam, the reverse, Karma, action, Prarabhate, performs, Ete, these Pancha, 5, Tasya, its Hetavaha, causes. So whatever a person does, one might ask, oh, these 5 causes are only for an action which is a just action or a right action. So if an action has to be right, righteous or just, then that action needs these 5 causes. Then the answer is no. Even unrighteous actions, even actions which are immoral, unethical, need these 5 causes. So even unethical actions need the blessing of the presiding deity. That is the idea. That is why here it is told, Nyayam, right, or Viparitam, reverse. Viparitam means which is not right, which is wrong. So Nyayam, right, or Viparitam, not right. Karma, prarabhate, whatever action is started or performed, ete, these pancha tasya hetavaha. So these 5 causes, that is the body, the agent, the sense organs, and the different functions of these sense organs, and the presiding deity. All these causes are necessary for performing any action, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyati akrata buddhitvat nasa pashyati durmatihi. Evam, thus, sati being, tatra, there, kevalam, the absolute, atmanam, the self, tu, indeed, akrita buddhitvat, which is akrita buddhitvat means through a buddhi or understanding which is akrita. Akrita means not purified, not evolved, not purified. Yaha, who, kartaram, as the agent, pashyati, looks upon, saha, that person, durmatihi, is of a perverted mind. Mati means mind and dur means wrong or evil. Here it means perverted mind. Na pashyati, does not see. So a person who thinks, so in the previous shlokas it has been clarified that every action has to be done based on 5 factors: the body, the agent who does the action, and the sense organs, and different functions of the sense organs, and the grace of the presiding deity. That being so, that being the case, a person who thinks because of not having a purified understanding, a person who thinks that one's self, the absolute, that is the Sat Chit Ananda, the absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute bliss, that Atma, that Brahman, one who thinks that Brahman is Karta or that Brahman is agent, then that person is having durmatihi. Kartaram as the agent pashyati, one who sees Atman as the agent, that person is having durmatihi. Durmatihi means that person is not seeing, does not have proper understanding. Does not have proper understanding. So, who has proper understanding? Sri Krishna says, Yasya naham krito bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa iman lokan na hanti na nibadhyate. So it's again a repetition of what has been told in the previous chapters. But the point is emphasized here. Yasya, whose ahankritaha of egoism, bhavaha, the notion, na, not, yasya, whose buddhihi, intelligence, na, not, lipyate, is affected, saha, that person, iman, these, lokan, people, hatva, killing, api, though, na, not, hanti, kills, na, nor, nibadhyate, is bound. So a person who is free from aham kritaha bhavaha, aham kritaha, egoism, the bhava or the notion of egotism. A person who is free from the notion of egotism, that person, and that person whose intelligence, buddhi, is not affected, na lipyate, it's not attached or it is not affected or it is not disturbed by good or evil. That person, hatvapi sa iman lokan, that person, even if that person kills these people, that person does not kill. Nor is that person bound by action, na nibadhyate. Because if one has trained one's mind, if one has put enough practice into training the mind, then that person is always established in Brahman and not with the 5 causes of action, which has been told earlier. And so that person never thinks oneself as the body or the agent or the sense organs, even while that person is performing physical acts. And so that person is free from any kind of effects of actions. That person does not get any fruit of actions. And so even though that person might kill people as a part of what has to be done, then that person does not accrue any kind of bad effect or evil effect or even good effect. So no fruits of actions are accrued by that person. Why? Because that person is constantly established in Brahman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.